Okay, yeah, it's me again. Making so many damn videos because I'm just so fucking tired and I can't use my hands that much. So that kind of keeps me from typing a lot on my blog. Anyway, I'm kind of tired now, but I just thought that I should make more of a video, and I kind of forget what I was going to make it about, but oh yeah, so there's two more videos I'm going to make. This one is about my family, and so I'll just use my family as an example, but I bet a lot of people go through similar things where um, we can get so used to the way that our family treats us and so used to the way that our families are, and just come to accept it as, oh, well, that's just normal, or you can't expect more from people or whatever, and the family can just get stuck in this pattern, and the person who's sick stays sick. And I think that if a family member is sick and has been sick for a long time, you gotta think like, and if the family is still like involved with the person, they're not just off on their own. But even then, you gotta think: is there something about the family dynamics contributing to this or keeping this the way it is? Because the way I feel about it, I feel like it's been very difficult to physically survive being born into my family, especially given that I was born a little bit of a sensitive person. I have the longer fourth finger, and women like that might be more sensitive to mercury from the higher testosterone, and I probably was born with high copper levels. I probably had food sensitivities when I was a baby. I had colic, and I was born very quickly. My mom is very sensitive to medicine, so when they put her on Pitocin, I was born in like 1 hour rather than like 8 hours. So I went from being totally inside to totally outside in an hour, so that was probably traumatic for me, or squeezed my brain or something. And so I was born sensitive with sensory processing disorder. And anyway, so growing up in the particular family that I grew up in has been harrowing, and it's just been really difficult not dying. And because as is common for the type of person like me, I'm more sensitive to the family stress than my brother was, and also the copper and everything, and the stress made my copper worse probably, and became anorexic at puberty, and part of that had to do with my mom being super religious because my dad was so strange and ignored her. Was very rude and ignoring to her, and then she got depressed, and then after that, to cope with her depression and to cope with the situation, she had to become extremely religious. And then I had to sort of be like that too because it was so stressful, just to alleviate the tension between us. And then I was too religious, and then I became anorexic from fasting and stuff. So anyway, what I was trying to say is that part was really difficult to survive in my family, just the kind of strange environment. And when I say survive my family, I mean my dad is very strange, and he doesn't like to have anything demanded of him, and he just wants people to leave him alone and not need anything from him. And the perfect child to my dad is a child who is an adult from the day they're born and just takes care of themselves. And that's what he says is so great about my brother, is that my brother just takes care of himself. My dad doesn't have to think about it. That's like the ultimate goal, is not to have to think about your children. So, and not to, talk to them or anything. Whereas my mom is so religious that any problem that comes up, she thinks that religion will solve it. And I'll call her with these desperate situations. I'll be like, I'm having this problem or that problem, and it's never like, oh, well, what do you need to be doing different with treatment, or do you need a different doctor or whatever. It's just, well, go to the Blessed Sacrament, go sit before the Blessed Sacrament and pray a Hail Mary, and go back to church, and God is trying to get you back to church by making you sick. And so for the longest time, you're just in your family and you don't really know otherwise, or it just takes a long time to have the perspective to look at your family. It just takes a lot of, suddenly it's all so clear, but it takes a while to get there. And so now I feel like I'm getting there, and I'm like, wow, I'm really a survivor to have made it in this family, because this was rough. And what's funny is that it's just hard to describe how rough it was, because nothing in particular sounds that bad. But I think the description would be, it was like growing up in an alcoholic family with no alcohol, or it was like growing up in an abusive family with no actual physical abuse, or it's that type of thing. And that's why I act like I'm somebody who's been abused or something, even though I don't think that I have. I don't have any reason to think that I have. So, um, anyway, it's been tough. And also, when I would come down with health problems and would have problems, my dad would just say, oh, he would get mad at me for having the problems and just say, this has gone on long enough, you need to stop it. Just stop it. You're stressing me by having this problem. Just cut it out, like it's my choice. And that would happen when I had anorexia and depression and more anorexia and Lyme disease. And then with my mom, just a lot of religion. So right now, I'm just kind of scared for my life. And because what happens a lot is that my dad will just say, oh, well, you don't have anything wrong with you. Because certain times I'd come home from college, I was really thin and too anorexic to be in college, and so I stop out of college and come home. And I was like, I guess I need some treatment, right? But what would happen is my dad would say, well, all right, well, if you're home from college, well, I guess what am I trying to get at here? My dad seems to want me to disappear and not to have to think about me anymore. I wonder who that is. It's probably my mom. I better get it. Well, anyway, that's all